What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of An Italian Mafia Saga Book 1 by yours truly, Ryan O'Leary. I want to say thank you to everybody for the support, for listening, for the advice. And I want to say what's up to everybody at Harry's, front of the house, back of the house. I miss y'all, love y'all. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your friendship. Give a shout out to my dog, Curtis White. Love you, bro. To my dog, Gus. Love you, bro. Joe Kelly, who helped me put all this together and gave me advice. Love you, bro. Everybody at Harry's, y'all are my team, and I love y'all. Without further ado, let's get on with Chapter 10. I hope you're enjoying this. Chapter 10, Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. FBI Field Office, Las Vegas, Nevada. Since the arrest of Richard Alexander for tampering with a federal witness to prevent the participation in a federal trial, and since the night the FBI confirmed that the new suspect was in fact Donovan Lovato, Antonio's son, Tartani and Salters have been on Lovato's trail. The FBI has the evidence of Lovato being with a blonde girl that has not yet been identified the night before the Calabrese bombing. They had evidence of this girl driving Lovato in a tricked out Shelby Mustang to the FedEx on Paradise Road, then to the Planet Hollywood Hotel where the murder of Dino Calabrese would go down. The FBI had the evidence of Lovato being at this girl's house earlier on today before they both got into the Mustang with an unidentified redhead teenager. Photos were taken of all of this. The FBI has footage of Donovan and both of these women going inside Carlito's, coming out of Carlito's, and then they followed the Mustang to the Bellagio Hotel. They didn't go inside to follow Lovato and the two girls because they didn't know who Lovato was coming here to see. About 12 minutes later, Donovan returned to the car, and this time Christina Bolivar is with the three of them. Tartani followed the Mustang all the way north to the Excess nightclub at Wynn. They watched from the SUV as Lovato and Bolivar went inside, and they followed. Tartani and Salters flashed their credentials to the bouncers and walked right on in undetected as they looked around for Lovato and the girl. They watched Lovato and Bolivar sit down with a Chinese couple, get drinks, exchange a package for a gold envelope, then a purple bag. All this surveillance was being collected. Then gunshots rang out in the nightclub. Both FBI agents hurried out with the flood of clubbers to catch footage from the SUV of Lovato speeding up and down Las Vegas Boulevard tonight in a real shootout with Chinese gangsters on crotch rockets. Neither Tartani nor Salters had an answer for that one. But they kept up with Donovan all the way back to the Bellagio and watched three people go in, and Bolivar left the scene. There's a lot of evidence here. Video surveillance and photographic evidence, Salters said with enthusiasm. But who are the girls? Who do they work for? Maybe they're Lovato's friends from school. Perhaps even a girlfriend. That blonde wasn't Mary Kay Letourneau that Lovato was going to see. He lives with Antonio's mistress and their daughter together that Karen never knew about, Tartani said. And the girl's Donovan's half-sister. And he doesn't know any of this. And he doesn't know that we're building a case against him either. So back to the hideaway we found, Salters said. Someone else found. And then we found. It was Antonio's hideaway from us and from other Mafia rivals he had problems with. The man owed out $4 million in profits, but he never paid it. But he paid for the Lovato estate in full. And he paid for Anastasia's home in full. And she's been doing real good for the hospital job she works, Tartani added. Both ladies are driving a new Benz. And then I don't know if you saw this one, but I kept this one until now, Salters said, then pulled out a single photo. Who do you think owns that black Ferrari Tributo right there in the Ruscalillo driveway, might I add, during the absence of Anastasia Ruscalillo? Give me that fucking photo, Tartani said, taking the large printed photo card. That's a tribute. Oh, that's a tributo, all right. And that's about a $300,000 car off the lot. Donovan found his dad's money, Salters said. Son of a bitch. And we just missed him. Lovato was there, Tartani said, getting up from his chair, angered over the lost seconds. He was right there, and he got away with $24,999,800 in cold, crisp cash. Damn it. It was right there, and it could have been ours, Tartani said boldly. Fuck that. $10 of Mafia money next to my wife and kid? No thanks. Donovan's got his dad's bills to pay, Salters replied. Not before we get him inside a courthouse to help us send Denise to the needle. Donovan may have a murder under his belt now, but he's still our key witness to bringing down Max Denise. Salters picked up a photo of Lovato at Excess Nightclub. He looked at Christina, then at the Chinese woman, and it hit him. I know who this woman is, Salters said, sitting up in his chair across the conference table from his partner. Her name's Xiana Wang. She's an assassin for the Duya crime boss, Shifeng Lao, in New York City. Shifeng's a crime boss over the Venom Triad. I'm well aware of who Wang is, but what's she doing here in Vegas? Tartani asked. And what's this triad want with Lovato? Salters added. This triad's always out for blood when it comes to dissatisfaction. What the fuck's Donovan involved in? Let's go take a ride to the Rochellio home. They should be at school now anyways, Tartani said. The drive in the SUV to the Rochellio home was a quick one on I-515 south to Bobby Basin Avenue in Henderson. The plan is to bug the Rochellio home and get out. It was just after noontime, 12:23 p.m. The Rochellio home was empty and the neighborhood was normal looking. Tartani and his partner got out of the SUV and made their way to the front door. Salters picked the lock and both agents entered the home. Tartani placed a small device on the alarm keypad and in 3 seconds the alarm was disarmed. Both agents placed bugs in the living room, in the downstairs bathroom, in the upstairs bedrooms, and then Tartani found the basement door. Come on. Salters followed his partner down the steps to this remade bedroom with boxing bags and weight sets and everything to make it a natural man cave. Tartani placed 3 bugs around this bedroom, which was evidently Lovato's room. Very nice for a 16-year-old. Let's go. We can go home and listen to Keeping Up with the Rochellios now, Tartani said. Then both agents left undetected. Marie Carlson was seated by the window on American Airlines Flight 412, about an hour and a half from Vegas. She was going to sneak in a call to her daughter, who's supposed to be at school right now. Marie had been in Costa Rica and back and forth to Mexico City on the way to and from leaving Costa Rica. The trip was beautiful, but it was time to go home, and she was almost there. The same day at Henderson High School. The students were between classes and gathered in the halls before lunch. Heather's mom was supposed to be coming home from Mexico. And since October 2013, the use of devices like iPhones and tablets is allowed on flights within the U.S., provided they're in airplane mode while taxiing and in the sky. Heather's phone rang and she knew by the ringtone that it was her mother. She was back early. Heather answered the phone with anticipation. Mom, you home already? No, I'm just sneaking in the call. I'm still in the air, Marie Carlson said. Mom, you're nuts. What time will you be home? There was a loud sound that came from outside the left windows. Marie saw the Boeing 747 engine was engulfed in flames. The plane was shaking, and then another engine exploded from failure. What the fuck was that? Heather asked in a raised tone, hearing it on the other end. Marie held her phone firmly against her left ear as the people around her cried and grabbed an emergency mask that came out all around the cabin. Baby, the engines exploded on the left wing. What? Heather said, then began to pace in fear for her mother. The wing's on fire, and the plane's going down, Marie cried over the phone as Heather listened. Heather dropped to her knees in tears right there in the hall. Mom, she screamed. Heather? Ashley asked, kneeling by her best friend's side. Baby, the plane's turning upside down, Marie Calson screamed over the screaming passengers. Mom, Heather screamed at the top of her lungs as all the students watched, not knowing what was even going on. Heather, I love you, Maria screamed. Heather. Mom, Heather screamed, and the phone call made a quick ripping sound, then ended. Heather clutched her phone and screamed as loud as she could, crying, on her knees in the junior hallway. Students were watching this. Heather, what the hell's wrong? Ashley asked, worried. Mom's plane just went down, Heather cried in tears, and Ashley covered her mouth. Donovan come running around the corner and down the hall. Ashley, Donovan called, coming up behind her. Donovan. Heather said her mom's plane went down. Ashley replied, What? I don't know. Her mom's supposed to come back from Mexico tonight, and I guess Marie called Heather. And all I know is, Ashley said, then broke down into hard tears. She said her mom's plane went down and the call died. Damn it, Donovan said, and the school security rounded the corner with Miss Appleford, the guidance counselor, and Mr. Harfield, the principal. Let's go. Get to class. Move, Mr. Harfield called out as the entourage of higher-ups stopped over them. Miss Appleford, Heather's mom, called from the plane, and she said the plane was going down, and then the call died, and Ashley said, then pointing to her best friend crying in the arms of her boyfriend. Donovan, bring Heather to the clinic, Miss Appleford said. Donovan carried his girlfriend into the clinic, followed by the principal and the guidance counselor. And the smart TV was on. Miss Appleford attempted to find ABC for a news break, and there was one. Minutes ago, American Airlines Flight 412 from Mexico City to Las Vegas, Nevada suffered engine failure in both engines on the left wing, landing on its top just outside Tucson, Arizona, before exploding. All 174 passengers and the pilots and crew have died, David Muir reported before Donovan returned his focus to Heather. What are we going to do? Miss Appleford asked with a responsibility to uphold. Look, Miss Appleford, let me take care of it. I know you have procedures and policies to follow. Just give me 1 day to take care of this, and I will. Donovan began, then the principal stepped away. I will make you a rich woman. Don't ask me a thing, and don't call DCF on her because she's a minor. I will make you a rich woman, Donovan said. We need to get her out of here for the day, Ashley said, and Donovan picked up his girlfriend. Don't report this, please. I'll pay yous real good, Donovan said, and took Heather out. The drive home was a quiet one. Donovan was driving, and his girlfriend was asleep in the passenger seat. She now has no parents, and the counselor is going to get a $100,000 payoff not to call the state on Heather. But the house? What about the house? Heather can go there for now. Donovan called Britt, and she picked up instantly. Where are you at? Britt asked. I'm on my way to Heather's house. She doesn't have any parents, Donovan replied. I know. What's she going to do? Hey, Alonzo's dad's in real estate, right? Donovan asked. Yeah, why? Come get me. He can find out who sold Marie Calson the home and how much is left, Donovan said. I'm on my way, Britt replied. Donovan pulled up into Heather's driveway, and he got his girlfriend out and up to her bedroom. Heather was still asleep when he laid her on the bed. She snuggled up to her pillows and breathed as she continued to sleep. Britt pulled up in front of Heather's home just as Donovan was coming out. He got in and they were off. Thank you, ugly, Donovan said, and Britt laughed from being stoned from a blunt of Mandarin Sunset. You're such a dork, Britt replied. What are you going to do? I'm going to buy the home, Donovan said. What? Donovan, you can't do that. You're going to start attracting some real heat. Donovan went inside, stuffed $500,000 in cash in his bag, then came back out. Britt knew there was money in that backpack. Donovan hopped in the sleek black F8 Tributo with Britt getting in the passenger side and sped out to McDonald Ranch Drive. Britt saw Zoe's house and pointed to the one with the older gentleman mowing the lawn. Josiah was listening to 80s R&B and making a trip back in the green John Deere 100 series lawn tractor when he spotted what appeared to be a black Ferrari Tributo. Josiah watched as this nice car pulled into the driveway and stopped. Britt and Donovan got out and were approached by the man from the mower. "Hi, Brittany," Josiah said, recognizing the young girl from his son's school, and they were friends. "Hey, Mr. Taylor," Britt began. "Yo, Donovan," Zoe said, coming up the driveway from the open garage. "What's up?" "I'm Josiah Taylor, Zoe's dad. You attend Henderson?" "Yes, sir, but it's you I actually need to see. I heard you're into real estate. Your son told me," Donovan said. "Yes, I have a business I began 15 years ago right here in Henderson and in Vegas. Let's go inside." Donovan and Britt followed both Taylor men inside and into a large living room. They all sat down as Donovan set a black backpack on the carpet and was prepared to speak. "I was curious if you could tell me anything about my girlfriend's home, 2716 Borthwick Avenue," Donovan said. "That's out there in Haddington. I know this because I'm the one who sold Marie Calson that home," Josiah said. "How long have you been dating Marie's daughter, Heather?" "Little over a couple weeks, maybe," Donovan said. "How's she doing? I heard about her mother's plane crash. I honestly don't know what to say," Josiah said. "What can anyone say? But I want to buy the house," Donovan said. "Donovan, there's exactly $475,000 left outstanding," Josiah said in disbelief. "That Ferrari outside? That's my car," Donovan nodded at Britt. "Ask her who paid for it in cash." "Yeah, I want to buy the house now." Donovan stood up and looked out the 3 living room windows at the patio, the steps to another part of the large pool, then turned around. "Let me ask yous both something. What do yous both know about Antonio Lovato?" Donovan asked. "Lovato was a New York City Denisi crime family underboss until he was set up and murdered over unpaid bills and for a rumor of him trying to usurp power from Denisi by organizing a hit against the boss himself. At least that's one of the tales. But the man was a boss," Josiah replied. "My parents were killed on Sunday, July 8th, 10 years ago, and it wasn't a car accident." Donovan pulled a photo from his wallet and showed it to Josiah. "That's Antonio and his wife Karen. And that's," Josiah began, "me in the photo. I was just born," Donovan interrupted. "Are you telling me that that Antonio is your dad?" Josiah asked in shock. "You were 6 years old when the FBI put you away under witness protection until you're old enough," Josiah said. "Old enough to what?" Zoe asked, morbidly curious. "Don't know, son. But the publicly declared to be dead by the FBI son of Denisi underboss Antonio Bricks Lovato's alive," Josiah said. "Why are you back?" "I never left. I grew up in the Boys Ranch Association not too far from here." "Anastasia," Donovan said. "My mom adopted him," Britt said. "Your mother adopted him? Does she know?" Josiah asked. "I don't know," Britt replied. "Can I finish paying for the house?" Donovan asked and set the backpack down in front of Josiah. "There's $500,000 in that bag. That should be enough. Bring me back what you don't need." I know neither of us has time right now, but I would really like to have a sit down with you," Josiah replied, taking the bag. "You want a drink?" "Cold Dr. Pepper if you have any," Donovan replied. Josiah said, leaving the room. "Yes, sir," Zoe said. Donovan had no clue as to what he was doing. The Calson home. "Britt, is this right? Buying the Calson home?" Donovan asked. "I don't know how to do anything but be there for you, but I think it's really sweet, Britt replied, then turned to meet Zoe to take her can of Dr. Pepper. Thank you, Zoe Dog. You're welcome, B-Dog, Zoe replied, handing Donovan his. Thanks, bro, Donovan said, popping the top. Antonio Bricks Lovato's really your dad? Man, that's dope, Zoe said with excitement. Okay, Donovan, this is for you, Josiah said, handing him the backpack and a file. And there's the deed to the home and some papers, but you're good to go. Thank you, Josiah. Zoe, I'll see you around. Donovan started up the Tributo, then revved the engine and backed out. He looked at Britt with that badass look in his eyes as if being on the grind is the top priority. Then the Ferrari roared as it took off. The Ferrari pulled up next to Heather's Mustang, and they both went inside. Heather was still inside asleep in her bed when he and Brittany came in. Heather, Britt said. Donovan approached Heather's sleeping form and took her by the right hand, awakening her from a deep sleep. Donovan, Heather said in a groggy tone, then saw Britt. Is my mom home yet? Heather, your mom's, Britt began, and Heather sat up in her bed. My mother's what, Britt? Donovan watched an angry, screaming girlfriend get out of her bed with a ferocious force like an angry female grizzly bear defending her cubs. What's wrong with you, dollface? Donovan said, stepping to her. Your mother was in that plane crash. No, she wasn't. She's going to be home, Heather screamed and pushed past her boyfriend. Mom? Mom! Donovan rushed towards his girlfriend and grabbed her by the left arm, knowing she was going to resist. Get the fuck off me, Heather yelled in anger, pulling away. Mom, where are you? Damn it, Heather, your mother's dead. No, she's not. She's coming home, Heather screamed in tears, unable to break free from her boyfriend's embrace. She's coming home. Donovan held his girlfriend as she slowly crumbled in his arms, screaming until they were both on their knees on the carpet. Heather was wailing and crying aloud as she mourned her mother's death. She clung to Donovan for strength to go on until she cried herself empty and tired again. I don't know what I'm going to do. The state's going to come take custody of me, Heather said. Then Donovan pulled out a piece of paper. The folder Josiah gave him was still out in the Ferrari. That's the point of focus. Nobody's going to know about your living status outside of us because I took care of that with Miss Appleford. And I went to see Josiah Taylor, Donovan explained. Zoe's dad. He sold my mom the house when I was 12, Heather interrupted. I bought the house, dollface, Donovan said, handing Heather the deed. With what? Heather asked with trembling hands as she held the deed to the Calson home. How can you afford this? I don't believe you. Come on, come outside, Donovan said, and led his girlfriend out the front door as Britt followed in a few feet behind. Outside, next to Heather's Mustang, was a beauty that stopped her in her tracks. A sleek, black Ferrari F8 Tributo on brushed blue and chrome FS35 Asante racing rims and Michelin PS4S racing tires. The car was unbelievably beautiful, and it was right there. Whose car is this? Heather asked, spinning around to look at both of her guests. This your car, Donovan? Yes, the Ferrari's mine and the home's yours. I bought them both, and I did it because I love you. I love you too, Heather said, then met her boyfriend's lips for a kiss. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being my friends, my team. Thank you for everything. I thank God for each and every one of y'all. One love, I'm out.